Good morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Sunday, the 7th of February. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks, it's a bearish start to the day here. Going to need to see Bitcoin move back through the pivot at 39,446 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 4688. Going to need to see support for Bitcoin to break back through to 40,000 levels, however. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect the first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 40,985 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Bitcoin target the swing high 41,969 and the second major resistance level at 42,141 before any pullback. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 37,993 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 37,000 levels. Second major support level sits at 36,751. Looking at the MACD, we got a widening of the bearish histograms after yesterday's bearish cross, supporting this morning's pullback. On the EMAs, the 50 has narrowed on the 100 and the 200, also a bearish signal for the morning. So key through the early part of the day, break through the 39,446 pivot to then target 40,000 levels. Failure to do that and support levels will remain in play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, it's a particularly bearish start to the day. Going to need to see Ethereum move back through the first major support level at 1636 and break through the pivot at 1691 to bring the first major resistance level at 1735 into play. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 1700 levels. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and swing high 1763.93 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ethereum test resistance at 1800 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1789. Failure to move back through the first major support level and the pivot level at 1691 would bring the second major support level at 1592 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 1550s on the day. The third major support level sits at 1494. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a widening of the bearish histograms this morning after yesterday's late bearish cross supporting this morning's pullback. On the EMAs, the 50 is also narrowing in on the 100 and the 200, also a bearish signal for the morning. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the first major support level at 1636 and move through the pivot at 1691 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and further downside is on the cards. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, also bearish this morning. Going to need to see Litecoin move back through the pivot at 156.67 to bring the first major resistance level at 163.33 into play. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 160s. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 164.23 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Litecoin test resistance at 170 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 170.90. Failure to move back through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 149.10 and the 23.6% fib at 148 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid sub 145. Second major support level sits at 142.44. Looking at the MACD, slight narrowing of the bearish histogram this morning, but nothing suggestive of a bullish recovery. On the EMA, 50 is also narrowing in on the 100 and the 200, which is a bearish signal. So key through the early part of the day would be to move back through the pivot at 156.67 and back through to 160 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's been a mixed start to the day. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move back through the pivot at 0.4425 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 0.4585. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.45 levels. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 0.45688 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, Could see Ripple's XRP test resistance at 0.48 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.4729. Failure to move back through the pivot, we'll bring the first major support level at 0.4281 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of the second major support level sitting at 0.4120. Looking at the MACD, we've got a slight widening of the bearish histogram after this morning's bearish cross, supporting the early pullback. On the EMA, a slight narrowing of the 50 on the 100 and the 200 also supporting this morning's decline. So key through the early part of the day, a move back through the pivot at 0.4425 and back through to 0.45 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play.